This is a lesson to improve walking. Now let's get clear. You already know how to walk. Everybody knows how to walk. It's built into the brain. What we're doing is working on improving your walking so you get more out of it, more benefits, more bang for your buck. You last longer, less injuries. Hopefully you can go through life if you walk well. So here we start. I'm going to give you basics and just do it. This is really the best way to train the brain is just do it. To start with, we're going to do some kind of pre-walk exercises, which I do all the time, even while I'm walking, or before I walk, while I walk. And I find them very valuable, much like anybody preparing to do anything. Tennis, they warm up before, they do some exercises, soccer, watch them warm up. So my warm-ups can sometimes just be as simple as this. It's almost like I call it a swim walk. And this movement is important because I get stabilized, very stable, keep my alignment, and then I can practice my breathing. Now you notice I'm dipping a lot just to show you that you can do that to help some of the loosen or let the joints become more mobile. We don't really loosen joints. What we do is make them work better. So here I'm doing this. And by the way, I can also do this. Now, if I were a steamboat on the Mississippi, my paddles would go like this. Now, it worked with paddle boats, but it wasn't the fastest way of moving a boat. We'll see that later. But I'm starting that way, just like the steamboat, just like the railway train. Oh, they went fast, but they had rails. So you see this movement I'm doing, I can do it also demonstrating with walking sticks, which if you are hiking walking, it would be walking like this, or walking with this kind of motion. And both ways, by the way, I can go forward. Notice how I've reversed this to bring a little more detail, the energy up here, so that it's lifting me up as I walk. In other words, my core strength plus the uplift, less impact here. I'm just demonstrating in place because we're starting that way. You see how I can play with this and actually do walk like this without the poles, with the poles? So, example to show you how the upper body and the lower body are moving. Another thing I can do, sometimes I do this before walking. I could use a rubber band, like an exercise, right? This is an exercise at this point. I'm getting the feeling of bringing my spine up. I could actually go the other way, as we showed you. I'll show you sideways. This is one of our best core strengthening exercises because I'm keeping my alignment, strengthening all these muscles here, and I'm getting the uplift. So my feet remain light and I'm ready to walk. So quickly on to the major components of walking. This is nice for a while, and I use it, but I always come back to the main one. And the main one I'm going to show you with, again, the walking stick. It'll be a lot easier. As a hiker, we all use these. If I start now to use what's called a rotational spiralic, you see here, if I touch that left pole, it brings my right leg forward and the stick. And you notice I'm stabilized in my knee. My knee cannot be destroyed or hurt this way. My foot and ankle are in beautiful alignment all the way to the top of my head. So from the side point of view, I would be staying up. But what I don't want is this. This is where I'm going to start getting wear and tear. Even though it's better than nothing, it's not very good if I'm getting a lot of this kind of thing. I'm not in good alignment. And my stability is going to be compromised. I'm literally not in tune with gravity very well. So here we go again, showing you one, now watch, left leg, right leg. And this is the basic stabilizing walk. If you walk like this, you would never have a problem. Of course, you cannot live on this particular, we'll call it path or direction of motion or activity alone. You want to unify it with this. You want to add, again, another one. This is part of that rotational sequence. Just as I was on my left leg, watch this one. The right leg this time I use as my thrust. I'm going up a hill now. I want more power in my buttocks and my big muscles, gluteals. Now watch, this leg is the one coming forward. Left leg thrust, right leg comes forward. So now I'm just switched gears, if you like, in order to get better power. And if you're a runner, as you would see, runners will use this to get that speed and power. But there's a risk, less stability, because I've got crossover. If I'm coming like this, I've got to maintain my alignment. Look at all the things that can happen. And you see people running and jogging, and actually they don't last. And by the time they hit the 60s, if they make it that far, knee problems and everything else. Unnecessary. So you use it, but you use it with balance, and as you practice, you get better at it. That's it. So I can now switch, watch. I can switch from one to the other. I'm switching gears. If I were driving a car with a manual transmission, I could switch gears all the time. So I'm switching this one to this one, to this one, to this one. And here, these are the energy directions or vectors of force. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. But all the time, I'm just following alignment, balance, lightness, and ease. That's all. I'm just being aware of what I do. I'm aware of my movements, and my body adjusts. I make a mistake, I'm modify it, correct it. There's no real thinking involved here. The real thinking is the body thinking, which already is ready to do that. So I can do this, I can do this, I can switch, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, that's what I'm doing when I walk all the time. So it's time now to introduce the last pair of very basic movements, gravity-based, physics-based, biomechanic-based. Watch this. These are very stabilizing lateral slides. I'm on uneven terrain. I really want to be stable. I've got to go down that hill. I want to be safe. So, you see, lateral means to the side. So, what is left, right, right, left, right. Now there are two movements here. If I go to the left, did you notice my left arm reached? If I go to the right, my right arm reached. If I were pushing off with my left leg, okay. But I could also change it, go to the left and lift the right, go to the right and lift the left. That all depends on the terrain, what I want to do. So going down a hill, you can see right to left, or left to right, or left to right, depending on the angle. My brain will tell me what to do. It's not, that's it. You just need to know that you can do the movements. You've got to be able to do the movements. So that's the practice. So now I'm going down, I can cross over. I am safe, no problems, no damage, better walking, and good exercise. We will show one more thing with the bands, if you to give you the clarity about this, just to put it all together for you. Watch this. Showing the levels with the band, you see? And by the way, here's an exercise, beautiful exercise. I can go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. It's all laterals and combinations, different combinations, right? Like a musician that's playing the same basic chord, as all musicians do. I'm in the C chord, but I combine it and vary it. It sounds different. So I'm playing with all these things. Put them all together, and it's going to look like this. And this is what I'll use in walking. I call it all the 6 movements I'm going to use at different times, according to how I'm walking. But The basic thing is not to get in a rut and do the same old thing over and over again. That's where you get in trouble. So I might start, I might switch, I can switch to the other one, slow it down to show you, see? But see that how unstable that is? That's why I've got to be in control here. I can't do it fast. I've got to be in control and get the feel. Ah, there it is. Because if I just do this, I'm wobbling all over the place, and then I'll have knee problems. This is the biggest one that causes the knee problems, because of the torque. See it? See that? See the knee right there? It's bad. Look at the ankle. Look. That's a surefire recipe for disaster, and nobody realizes it. Very few, unless you're a trained runner or you've worked with a coach. You see, I'm always mindful of staying over, easy, and then let my brain learn. My brain does the learning. I'm just doing the practice. I'm just getting out and walk. I change. I just got a little pattern. Somebody gave me a pattern and said, try these. Try these. And my brain will say, okay, I'll work with it and get it better. Try throwing a ball in the basket and keep doing it, and after a while your brain will show you how to get it better. You don't have to read a book about the movements. That's not the way to go. It's like trying to play golf by reading a book or looking at a video. No, you get the feel of it. Okay, so that's level 1, and the next one will be the level 2, and then we have a level 3 action.